Hello and a very warm welcome to Meghan and Harry News YouTube channel. Hi, I'm Alex. I hope all is well with you today. Harry has done a new interview. He had a live stream conversation with author and therapist Dr. Gabor. And in part of this interview, he talked about the Afghanistan war. He said some British soldiers were not necessarily supportive of military efforts in Afghanistan. As we all know, there were many question marks over this at the time. Of this is just stating truth. It wasn't just soldiers who were questioning what was going on. During a live streamed conversation with author and therapist Dr. Gabor Mate, Harry discussed his military tours to Afghanistan. In response to Dr. Mate stating he did not align with the West during the conflict, the Duke said one of the reasons why so many people in the United Kingdom were not supportive of our troops was because they assumed that everybody that was serving was for the war. But no, once you sign up, you do what you're told to do. So there was a lot of us that didn't necessarily agree or disagree, but you were doing what you were trained to do. You were doing what you were sent to do. Harry also discussed how he felt different to the rest of his family and that his mum Diana felt the same, as it says here. Prince Harry has said he always felt different to the rest of his family and that his mum felt the same. The Duke of Sussex made the remarks during a live-streamed conversation with author Dr. Gabor Mate. I certainly have felt throughout my life, my younger years, I felt slightly different to the rest of my family, he said. I felt strange being in this container and I know that my mum felt the same, so it makes sense to me. It didn't make sense at the time. I felt as though my body was in there, but my head was out, and sometimes it was vice versa. Well, it's not a big surprise. Harry doesn't come across like the others. He doesn't act like them and he doesn't look like them. I've always felt that he didn't look like the royals, but then some people disagree and say that he looks very similar to Prince Philip in his younger days. I don't know, what do you guys think? It continues, the Duke also spoke of his fears ahead of going to therapy. One of the things I was most scared about was losing the feelings that I had of my mum, he said. I thought that if I went to therapy, it would kill me and that I would lose whatever I had left, whatever I managed to hold onto of my mother, and it turns out that wasn't the case. I didn't lose that, it was the opposite. I turned what I thought was supposed to be sadness to try and prove to her that I missed her, into realising she just really wanted me to be happy, and that was a huge weight off my chest. The Duke of Sussex also said marijuana really helped him mentally. He said taking cocaine did nothing for him, but added marijuana is different, that actually really did help me. Okay, I'll get back later with more on this information and reaction. Let us know your opinion below and I'll see you in the next video. Hello and a very warm welcome to Meghan and Harry latest news YouTube channel. Hi, I'm Alex and hope all is well with you. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, has recently done an interview where she was asked about Meghan and Harry. It says here, Sarah Ferguson says she has no judgment of Harry and Meghan. I'm not in a position to make any judgments. Duchess of York says, I don't believe that any single person has the right to judge another person. Now, this is unusual, but I actually agree with what she has said. We don't have the right to judge people, specifically people we don't know. If we are to judge someone, then it at least should be on their actions. And for Sarah Ferguson, especially being connected to Prince Andrew, she really needs to say that. I hope she really believes what she says, as the more you judge others, the more you judge yourself. It is the toxic media who create and dream up stories to encourage the public to make judgments. This is what Meghan and Harry have been experiencing. The media lying and creating false stories deliberately tailored to encourage the public to think negatively about them and therefore to judge them. But the public forget that they don't know them and all of these stories are just made up gossip created to get people to judge those they do not know, which is wrong. Sarah Ferguson has revealed she has no judgment towards Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and the path they've chosen, while reflecting on the judgment she has faced all her life. The Duchess of York spoke candidly about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's decision to step back from the royal roles and relocate to California, as well as her own experiences being judged during a new interview with People. I don't believe that any single person has the right to judge another person. I'm not in a position to make any judgments, the Duchess said. I have been judged all my life and I have no judgment on the Sussexes. And neither are any of the other royals either. The problem is because they have these imaginary made-up titles. They have medals appointed by their own family. They promote themselves in their own companies. Their wages are paid for them by the hard-working taxpayers of the UK. They were born into royalty. They were born into the position they find themselves. They didn't earn the position. They didn't work their way up to get to the top. And yet they believe they are in a position to judge, that they are somehow elevated above other folk. But they have no reason to think this apart from their titles or being called a king or princess. It means nothing. Your position in society should be reflected by your talents. It should be reflected by your skills, by what you have learnt and how you have applied that throughout your work, and then what that gives to society. That's what makes you credible and what makes a person of value, and why people should look up to you. Why you could then become a mentor to others or a leader that could be trusted. Unfortunately, the royal family are given these positions due to being merely born and therefore don't have to prove themselves. They don't have to work their way up the ladder or learn to give. They are already at the top automatically, so they have a position, but it is of no value. One of the reasons why they obsess over their popularity and how they are perceived by the public in the media is because of their own intrinsic value of themselves does not come from within. They know their position of being at the top was not earned and is not on account of their skills. It comes from merely being born. They know this and they didn't get to where they were upon merit. So deep inside they feel like they have been cheated. That's why they are obsessed by how others see them. And their relationship with the media is so important to them because their self-esteem comes from what they perceive others think of them. It doesn't come from themselves, so they are massively insecure. It continues, the royal, who is often referred to by her nickname Fergie, then shared her belief that Harry's mother, the late Princess Diana, would be proud of the couple's children, 3-year-old son Archie and 1-year-old Lilibet. So it's good to see someone from the firm saying something good about Meghan and Harry. It's not really that difficult to do, is it? So why can't others talk about it? No, they hide behind anonymous media stories where they judge and pour scorn on Meghan and Harry and do it that way so that there is no comeback for them. Sarah Ferguson continued, I think that Princess Diana would be incredibly proud of her grandchildren, and not just the Sussex grandchildren, but Will's children, the Duchess added. So Sarah Ferguson is playing the peacekeeper here and not picking sides and trying to be diplomatic and not cause any drama, and good for her. Let us know your opinion in the comments and I'll see you in the next video.